It's time to take a trip down memory lane with my guy Trey. He just made a video called NBA Archetypes that went extinct. You got my guy IT on the thumbnail. Over or under if I cry or not, bruh. This is crazy. This is crazy, man.
The evolution of the NBA has definitely been something to see. Every era being different. Players and teams over the years evolving and fitting in what's most effective for their era. Believe it or not, the NBA did not start off just chucking threes. It got molded into that after many years. The pioneers had to pioneer so we could get here. And here, oof, it is nothing like their time. The players that we got now, nigga, they would be getting burnt at the stock. Multiple 7-foot demigods. Insane shooting abilities. Crazy athleticism. Offense and...
Let me ask y'all this before we get going. Who made y'all want to shoot the 3 ball at a high level? Because I feel like, you know, the young dudes is definitely Steph Curry. But, you know, I've been playing basketball before Steph Curry really exploded. For me, it was Ray Allen. Ray Allen's jump shot, that shit was so butter, bro. Oh, my God. And partially Kobe, too.
General is just at a crazy peak right now, and it's only gonna get crazier. This is the new NBA. This is what players are being breaded into, and I, for one, fucking love it. But where there's a beginning is always an end. Always is kind of pushing it. Nah, you don't start a book from the end. It's just a beginning. But luckily, this isn't a fucking book. But yeah, bro, to get to this point in the NBA, we had to sacrifice some niggas. Not all play styles can compete anymore. A lot of guys got kicked to the curb. Don't need them anymore. For whatever reason, they're outdated. And actually,
there's a reason.
And yeah, that's pretty much what we're talking about today. Archetypes that have gone extinct. Dinosaur level shit. They're never coming back. LeBron hairline type shit. It's never coming back. Yo, bitch, if she get up with me, nigga, it's never coming back. My bad, gang.
Relax.
I'm a little 2T right now. Let's just move on, bro. Let's just move on. Last video, I didn't ask you a question, actually. Literally typed nothing. I just want to see where y'all niggas heads at. Giving free
That's my guy Trey, by the way, man. Links to this video in the description.
And honestly, y'all didn't disappoint. Good French Montana songs. You're right, it doesn't exist. People he hates more than Rudy Gobert. Nobody. This nigga's dead. Oh, ooh, dark turn. Next question down below. Go and humor me. But yeah, I got 4 archetypes that I don't really think are gonna see the floor again. It is what it is, bro. The program changed. You gotta keep up. And these niggas did not.
Predictions. I'm gonna go with the pass first, pass only. Not pass only, obviously. These guys are versatile. But the pass first under 6'4" point guard who can't shoot for shit. The Rondos, the Jason Kidd, the Andre Miller types. Rondo is my favorite player growing up, y'all. And Rondo was able to make an adjustment in the modern NBA to a certain degree, right? Because he was on the Bubba Lakers, and he was a very effective player on that team. And LeBron, even on his last podcast, or his first podcast technically, even credited Rondo as being like the second most high IQ player on the team next to him. Let me see what he did in the playoffs. You know, 9.7 assists. But even Rondo had to develop a 40% 3-point shot on 3 attempts a game. The pure post up big with no passing ability and no ability to stretch the floor is dead in my opinion as well. The Al Jefferson, Jahlil Okafor types, that shit is dead. The pure defender is, listen, I don't think the Tony Allens really exist anymore. The pure defenders who cannot shoot, I think that shit is dead anymore. The bruiser, essentially all these archetypes still exist, but if you can't shoot, you do not exist anymore. You know what I'm saying? Which is tough, but that's just the reality of the shits. So
I get a drum roll for the first one. Bada, Batman. Itty bitty, little as hell, small as shit guards. They're done. It hurts to see, bro, but nobody is choosing heart over height anymore. I remember when all the short hoopers had that shit in their bio. Now they're fucked. As of 2024, there's nobody in the league for the little guys to look up to for real. And it's crazy because usually the players under 6 feet are stupid skilled. Honestly, not even just the NBA. Any short hooper in general. If they're good, then they're really good. Like one of my favorite high school players ever, Trey Jefferson, a fucking fucking dog. Look at these highlights, bro. The nigga is 5'7". Imagine if he was even 6'1". God had to patch him, but he gave him the worst patch. Guys like this have existed since the beginning of time. Not everybody's blessed enough to be above 6 feet. And up until recently, they've always found a way to make it there and have pretty respectable careers. Don't know how Muggsy Bogues did it at 5'3". That is fucking insane. And then every now and then you would have your short gem that's a legitimate threat in the NBA. Guys like Kemba Walker and Isaiah Thomas. Y'all know the names, bro. Y'all remember how tough they were. It was always fascinating and fun to see them work. But sorry I had to come to this, but it's a big league now.
You think that shit is dead though? Cause he just showed up on my screen. Like Trae Young is still a thing, and people doubt the fact that Trae Young's even 6 feet tall. And them just existing. I mean, I understand he's not a person you build around, and maybe if the question is these are players you just don't build around, you can question not building around Trae Young because of his defensive lapses, and just the ceiling of a Trae Young led team. But yeah, like Peyton Pritchard is not a tall basketball player. I mean, he's 6'1". It don't feel like he's 6'1". I ain't gonna lie, but he's still a very he's an important role player to arguably the best team in the league. Let's see, maybe I'm tripping. Jose Alvarado's short as shit, and he's pretty important to that Pelicans team. He's 6 feet tall. Chris Paul, I would classify Chris Paul as one of the small guards. Fred VanVleet, how tall is Fred? Fred's 6 feet. I mean, they still exist. I think the 5'7", 5'8" dude, there's no one in the league like that off the top of my head that's really effective, let alone a guy you build around like Isaiah Thomas. But
who maybe can get away with being 6 feet, but anything under? Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. You are cooked, nigga. It's a big guard world. It is overly normal to see somebody built like a power forward to bring up the ball, score, play make just like a guard. Luka, Cade, Paulo, Bron. And then don't even get me started on niggas like Jokic and Wemby. It's just too much size, too much offensive skill in today's NBA to risk having a liability like someone who's 5'10". And it's truly tragic for somebody in Isaiah Thomas's case because dude was a set-in-stone star, MVP candidate type star. Bro gets hurt, traded, and then everybody just remembers he's like 5'8", and dude just been trying to get back in the league ever since, bro.
But even IT, I think we need to understand, IT was a supreme athlete for his size. Supreme athlete. His first step, that was a big part of his game. His first step was crazy. On top of his skill, obviously, but even IT at 5'9" was a supreme athlete. Let me tell you where I think the game is headed. And I think I've said this before. The game, the ideal lineup in the NBA, in my opinion, 10, 15 years, I think it's the ideal lineup right now, but I truly think as we move forward, it is going to be the normal standard. Is the three main factors is playmaking, shooting, and defensive versatility from all 5 positions. If you can provide those 3 skills from all 5 positions, you can make it in the NBA, okay? And the height is kind of inherent with defensive versatility. At the point guard, like with what we've been saying, you're going to continue to see the big guards. The Lukas, the SGAs, the Cades. No, I understand he's washed now, but the Ben Simmonses. The reason why Ben Simmons couldn't make it is because he couldn't shoot, but that's, it's another thing for another day. The ideal point guard is someone who can play make at a high level, who can space the floor, who can shot create, and provides defensive versatility in like that position. Okay. So again, a Luka variant, a SGA variant. That's the prototypical point guard in my opinion moving forward. I think the 6'2". We were talking about the 5'7", 5'9" guard being phased out. I would even go as far as to say that the 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" point guard is going to be phased out very, very shortly. Not to say that they're not going to exist to any capacity, but you understand what I'm saying. If you can get a bigger guard that can provide you similar skill, but because of the fact that he's a bigger guard, you can't teach height, you're going to take the bigger guard. At the wing positions, I think this to me, this has been the most consistent, constant throughout the league. But even at the 2, I think twos are getting taller compared to yesteryear. I think 6'5", 6'4" at The 2 guard now is kind of small, right? At the 2, you're looking ideally 6'7", 6'8". Small forward, 6'8" is still fine, but if you can find a 6'9", 6'10", 6'9", 6'10" dude at the 3, that'd be ideal. I think the 2 to 3 position, you already seen it right now. Paul George, Kawhi, JT, Brandon Ingram, Jimmy Butler, these type of players, these are going to be the players consistent at that 2 to 3 position. Kevin Durant, I don't know if I mentioned him. Kevin Durant at the 2 to 3 position. The 4 to 5, I would even stretch out 2, 3, the 2 to 3 to 4 to be very similar archetypes, in my opinion. But if you can find a 4 who may not be as big of a shooting threat as your 1 to 3, but is more physical, is a better rebounder, I think that's the ideal for is a better lob threat, but can still space out the floor and run the break. A name that comes to mind immediately is, Aaron Gordon. I think that's the prototypical power forward in my opinion. Maybe even elevated, like an elevated version of Aaron Gordon. I think that's the prototypical power forward. A Zion Williamson, barring health. If Zion could just knock down the spot up 3, I think Zion is the typical 4. Moving forward, Julius Randle, if he was more consistent. Like these are the names that I'm thinking of off the top of my head. Sabonis, I know he's a 5, but I would include Sabonis in that category. Bam, because if he could space out the floor a little bit better. And then at that 5, listen, that 5, it could be a bunch of things. Like, I don't think a player like Jokic will be phased out in the future. But again, playmaking, shooting, defensive versatility. So the Wembys, the Chets, the Embiids, the Jokic's, these types of centers moving forward are going to continue to dominate the game. And I think that's the ideal lineup moving forward. To me, the ideal lineup moving forward. But let's go back to the vid though.
It's sad. Isaiah Thomas will go and kill anybody that is not on the NBA team. Every time they have this nigga playing in like a Pro-Am or G League, he fucks them up. Definitely is good enough, has the skill to be an NBA player, but bro, the height just not there. Coaches and GMs just don't want that shit no more, I guess. Maybe not every player in the league right now is better than Isaiah Thomas, but I bet you them niggas taller. And he's about as good as it's gonna get for somebody his height. So yeah, it pains me to say this, but the itty bitty shorty committee,
that's so old.
It's been abolished. Them boys is extinct. Next in line, no. Cut the music for this. The next archetype we have today, it is easily my least favorite on the list, and honestly just least favorite in general. A player who is straight D and hustle with no type of offensive bag at all, bro.
Tony
Can't
Allen
even hit a fucking free throw. I ain't gonna lie, the main reason I hate this shit is because I hate playing niggas like this. This is literally the football archetype. These are the type of niggas that face guard in a 5v5 pickup. Shot goes up, they don't care, they're looking at you. You give them the Ben Simmons treatment on offense just for them to give you the Pat Bev shit on defense. But we're not talking about pickup, bro. We're talking about the league. Players like this were far from rare back in the day. Offense wasn't even 1/4 of what it is right now. So to have somebody who doesn't do it and just try hards on defense, shit, you'll take it. But not anymore. No. You are no longer seeing the likes of Dennis Rodman. You are no longer seeing the likes of Andre Roberson. Tony Allen, more like Sayonara Allen. And I fuck with them, you know what I'm saying? Those are good players. Like, it's cool, bro. Like, it's chill. Like, relax. I'm just saying. There's no more room for that shit, nigga. You better.
I mean, I think the closest player would be Asir Thompson, and I do think he has a bright future in the league. But even Asir, listen, I'm not a fan of him getting benched, but I see it because you got Jalen Duren and Asir out there, 2 non-floor spacers. It does make it hard for that offense to be as efficient as possible. They still do exist. Draymond still exists as well. But that's kind of disservice to how good Draymond is as a passer and as a playmaker. So, yeah, that's an archetype that's dying, man. That's tough right there.
Strap up. Now, don't get it twisted. There's definitely still some broke defending ass niggas in the league. Shit, we just got a pair. But bro, that shit is not ideal. You do not see the Celtics with a nigga like that on their team. You don't see the Nuggets with a nigga like that on their team. And I'm mainly talking about guards right now. I know I said Dennis Rodman, but that was just to get, you know what I'm saying, the image in your head. I'm mainly talking about guards, nigga. And if you
Marcus Smart was really close, but even Marcus Smart had to develop a really effective offensive game to really stay on the team. Like, coming out the gate, Marcus Smart was just straight hustle. And I'm not gonna lie, we just kind of settled for how poor of a three-point shooter Marcus Smart really was, bro. Cause 31, 34, 33, 33, 35. He was always a solid passer. And in the playoffs, specifically like the last 3 seasons, he did elevate his 3-ball to a pretty good level. So he was a good playmaker. Yeah, good playmaker for the Celtics these last 3 years. But yeah, like Marcus Smart was pretty close to being this archetype.
R1 in the year of 2024, and you don't got to strap it all like Andre Roberson at all. I promise you will not see an NBA roster if you don't get that shit together in the summer. No excuses, bro. Have you seen what Stephen Curry done to the NBA? Not even just the NBA, bro. Basketball. Better get in tune or get left. What's that old saying that coaches be saying, bro? Defense wins games. Look, maybe in the 90s, buddy. My NBA is offense oriented as hell. Buddy, I haven't seen a good all-star game in 4 years, and I'm still not even sure if this is just the 3-point contest. Needless to say, this is the era where you put this ball in this goddamn basket. If you can't do that, buddy, we got an issue. Code red, nigga, you can't be on my team. But yeah, nah, for the most part, them boys extinct.
To all my fallen squad, write your name across the sky.
Next one, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of cheating on, but you're already a good 6 minutes in. You're invested. So invested, you might as well just click the like type shit. But yeah, the next archetype is back to the basket big man. Now look, obviously these niggas are not extinct. I just told you I'm cheating. But they are some legit fucking dinosaurs. I'm talking niggas who can't do shit but rebound, post up, set screens, and miss free throws. The reason why this build is here is because it's just not the best shit in the NBA anymore at all. In the past, them boys were dominating the NBA. All the best players just being big men that all pretty much do the exact same shit. But that shit was very deadly. But now that the league has such an emphasis on threes and scoring, you can't really keep up playing through somebody on the post. You could play with them, you know, but in terms of them being top 10, yeah, nah, they're extinct from that. Like,
I think you can still play through the post because Jokic runs a lot through the post, at least from what I see. Joel Embiid is still very effective in the post. AD as well. So you can still run through them. It's just, again, if you don't provide anything else out, like if you can't space the floor at all, bro, it's chopped.
Niggas like Jared Allen, Clint Capella, Rudy Gobert. Ah, damn, this archetype has gone downhill. And when I think about it, bro, they're headed towards extinction. There's a reason why they're not the best. Motherfuckers don't put hella energy into that build anymore. Even though, honestly, I think they should. For the one simple fact, I understand nobody's gonna be like Shaq again. I'm not trying to say there's gonna be another Shaq. But do you know what even a lesser version of Shaq would do to today's NBA? Shit, look at what Giannis does. If these niggas had some actual, like, back to the basket, taking your ass down to the post type of mindset, they wouldn't be cooked, but it's just not how it used to be. But nobody's doing that. In fact, I'm looking at niggas like Steven Adams shoot threes. Shit is actually bonkers. And now that the game is what it is right now, knowing that kids of all sizes are being taught how to shoot, it's gonna be a point where every big man that comes to the league got a strap. Even a big who decides to put his back to the basket should be able to shoot at that point. So yeah, it's looking like the meteor is heading its way right now. And the dinosaurs are the niggas in the NBA who literally look like dinosaurs. So, yeah, nigga, R.I.P.
New art pack in the air, this gas and what?
And then the last archetype I got for y'all, yes, last archetype. I literally can't think of another one. So if, you know what I'm saying, if yours didn't make the list.
I think, I'm not really sure if he said it just now, but I still think elite rim protectors are always going to be valuable in the league, regardless of how lackadaisical their offensive bag is. I think there will still be room for leeway in these two things when you're building out a starting lineup in the future. I think you're allowed to have one non-floor spacer on the court at all times. I still think you can run a very, very efficient offense with one non-floor spacer moving forward. Anything after that, it becomes a little bit problematic, but we can live with Rudy Gobert at the 5 being a non-floor spacer. We can still run a really, really efficient offense. Ideally, if Rudy Gobert can space the floor, I think that's ideal, but you can still live with that. On the defensive end, I still think you can live with a average to a below average defender in really any position. You know what I'm saying? When you got 4 guys who can make up for it, I still think you can live with that. As long as there's nothing too crazy where people, teams can just, whoever offense is one person, that might be a little crazy. But yeah, I still think there's room for the Jared Allens and the Rudy Goberts of the world.
It's just commented. But yeah, bro, the last build, archetype, whatever, is the pure playmaker. Not just a pass-first guard, damn near pass-only guard. Ricky Rubio,
I wouldn't
John
even consider
Stockton.
Steve Nash.
I just said the same thing right there. Tony Parker, Steve Nash, damn near Rondo. But like, nah, I feel like
I wouldn't consider Steve Nash in this conversation at all, by the way, but
a nigga like Rondo wouldn't be able to compete in today's NBA, but Rondo could. Honestly, all those names really could play in the league, I think, but niggas just don't really hoop like that anymore. Like, the closest pure playmaker that I could think of who's good, damn near great, nigga, Tyrese Halliburton. Look, okay, I'll address it. I see Hallie's been playing like a piece of shit lately. Don't get me wrong, I definitely see it. It's been bad post-injury, bro. There's nothing, what the fuck else do you want me to say? But yeah, Hallie's probably the closest to a pure playmaker, but now that I think about it, he might just be this era's version of one. Somebody whose main objective is to get their teammates involved, but because he's a successful modern point guard, he's able to get you some real buckets. Hell yeah. So I guess they're not even for real extinct, they're evolved. Like Campazzo ass on the on the Nuggets, him and TJ McConnell gotta be like the last nigga. They had a cool little run though, but that time is up. With the way basketball is evolving, there's just gonna be an upgraded version to replace that one with. Passes are cool, but shit, nowadays you want to see some buckets. Is you giving buckets? Nah, gang. I don't think you giving buckets. R.I.P.
Fuck your homie, he dead. Fuck your homie, he dead.
Hey, yeah, bro, that's pretty much the vid. What do y'all think, huh? Y'all think they can make a comeback? Shit, bro, who knows? Just like the video. Fuck it. Even if you hated this shit, biggest waste of your time, nigga. Fuck it, like YOLO, just do it, YOLO. And yeah, bro, that's the vid. Go take a shower. Tell your bitch go take a shower. Really think that is your mama say the world is ours.
I forgot about the raps at the end of these videos, right?
Down. Way I'm flying all these beats, I found my superpowers. Way I'm rolling up this weed blunt, burn for hours. Whenever I can't find my keys, push it don't matter. Got it on.
I think the pure playmaker still exists in the league as long as you can shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like Trae Young is still in the league. Yeah, Trae Young is still in the league. Why am I like Tyrese is still in the league? Yeah, there's still a lot of high level passers in the league. As long as you can shoot, I think you're straight. I just think a lot of these players just lean towards the scoring side way more than like yesteryear's players. Because I believe if Steve Nash did play in today's league, he wouldn't just be averaging 16 to 17 points a game. I think in today's league, it would be dumb for him to settle on those field goal attempts that he was settling for back in the day. And I do think Steve Nash will have to adapt and put up 18, 19 shots a game. And I think he would average similar to what Tyrese is averaging right now. Or, like Tyrese when he had his all-star card, as y'all like to say, which is crazy dick suck. But yeah, shout out to Trey for the video, bro. And it's just, I don't know, man, it's kind of sad. I understand it makes sense. Everything makes sense. We're trying to optimize to win games. Winning games get you money, and the league revolves around money and winning. I get it, but someone coined this term about the 2000s, and just, when things weren't so over-optimized, like, a lot of things in the 2000s and the 90s, and even in the 2010s, were, like, perfectly imperfect. You know what I'm saying? We clearly see that there's steps to evolve. We see where the shit can improve, but that's kind of what made that thing special at that time. You know what I'm saying? Is the room for these imperfections to exist, whether it's with technology, whether it's whatever. So when that new evolution comes, you just feel more grateful for it. Because, bro, the difference between going from, like, I don't know, an iPhone 4 to an iPhone 5, I felt that shit. You know what I'm saying? But the difference from an iPhone 14 to an iPhone 15, you don't see that anymore, man. With video games, with music, with other sports, man. Everything is so, content creation, everything is just so optimized now. And I get it. Motherfuckers need to get to the bag, especially in this economy. But I just wish there was room for the game to not be as perfect as it is. And not, your team end up being the Washington Wizards or the Detroit Pistons if you don't follow this line. But once again, shout out to Trey for the video. Appreciate him. And I'm out, man. Peace.